All parties on Nicholson versus Shannon. Step forward, please.
31-year-old machinist Robert Nicholson claims former live-in lover, 27-year-old Michelle Shannon, owes him for rent after they split.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 698 on the calendar in the matter of Nicholson versus Shannon. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
You're in love, you move in together, you rent an apartment together, right?
Correct.
When did you meet?
About 6 months prior.
So you knew each other 6 months when you decided to sign a lease together.
Correct.
And how long did it last?
Approximately 14 months that we lived together.
And your lease was 2 years.
Correct.
And you left.
Right.
And you want her to pay her half of the rent for the remainder of the lease.
Correct.
She says she was more than fair. You moved out in December, is that right?
Yes.
December what?
It was early December. I don't know the exact date.
Had you paid the rent for December?
Yes, I had.
Is that right?
Correct.
And you had a security deposit on the apartment?
Yes.
How much was the security deposit that you put in?
I don't know the exact amount. I believe it was half.
What was the security deposit?
$600 is what her half was.
And did she leave you with that?
Yes, she did.
So she paid December's rent. She left you with the security deposit, right?
Correct.
And how much was the entire rent?
The entire rent per month was $1,075,
Okay,
which we split each month.
good. So she left you a month to find a new roommate and a month for good measure, because you get her $600 back at the end of the lease, right?
Well, sort of, kind of.
Do me a favor.
Yes.
Just answer my question.
Okay.
Sort of, maybe, could have. $600 security deposit.
Yes.
When you move out, you get back your security deposit as long as you pay the rent and leave the place in good order, right? So now she's really paid you 2 months. You tell me, since it's clear that this relationship was over, what you think should have happened.
Well, she signed a 2-year agreement, okay, and it says in the agreement that no oral, verbal notice of any kind it's invalid. It has to be in writing in 30 days in writing, okay, and all parties have to agree to it in writing. And there was no writing of any kind. It was just simply, I'm moving out, and she moved out. We also talked about getting back together and her moving back in. She said, if I don't even like where I'm living, I might move back in a month. Okay, and I was wanting her to stay because I wanted the relationship to work out.
According to these papers, it got pretty ugly there in the end of November, the beginning of December.
Oh, I had found out that she was seeing someone behind my back at her
So
work.
it got pretty ugly. Whatever the reason, it got pretty ugly.
Correct.
Why should two people who are not married, who have no children together, who have no other ties together, stay in an apartment where they're both going to be miserable?
We shouldn't, but
Good.
she's legally bound to the end of the lease, I feel. Because
All right.
if I lose
Are
my
you
job
still-
next month and I can't pay the rest of the rent, the owners of the place can take me to court for the remainder of the lease, correct?
Well, you have, sir, in December, by the way, you still living in the apartment?
Yes, I am, and I've looked for roommates. I've had ads in the newspaper ever since day one. I have not found anybody.
They have
Yes.
not been in the newspaper. They've been in the recycler, and there's not even a sign out front, which doesn't cost any money.
Mr.
to do.
Nicholson.
It's a back house. You can't even see the house from the
Mr.
street.
Nicholson, show me the ads that you put in from day one looking for a roommate.
These here are highlighted ads in the recycler. The reason why I did not put them in the newspaper, because just for 1 day it was $45, for 2 days it was $65, and for 3 days it was $72, and at which time I also had told her at one point that I only had $40 to get me through 2 weeks. Couldn't even afford it.
You indicate here that you offered to help him put ads in the paper, is that right?
I did.
When did you tell him that?
It was not that long ago. When he said that he wanted to sue me, and I didn't understand why, because I thought that I had done my part. I went over, met with him, trying to find out why he was going to sue me. And I said at that time, I would pay for ads in the local newspaper, and if I needed to, I was just trying to figure out what my part was.
So what did he say to you when you offered?
He said no.
Do you remember having a conversation with her about her assisting in putting ads in the paper?
Yes, I do, and that was only after I had mentioned that, hey, you know, taking you to small claims court, and she said, fine, go ahead, see if I care, okay, and then this was only a matter of 2 weeks ago that she had come over and then was being very nice because she was worried about being sued and trying to manipulate me into not suing her by offering these to pay for these ads, which for several weeks prior to that, she didn't want nothing to do with me, not to offer to pay for any ads or anything like that.
Let me see the lease on the apartment. How large an apartment is this?
Actually, it's not an apartment, it's a house.
How large a house is it?
2-bedroom house with a 2-car garage.
Uh-huh.
It's a back house.
Have you been to the house since?
Just the last time I was there was to visit and speak with him about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago.
Anybody else there?
No.
Why are you only asking for $350 a month rent?
Because that's all I feel I can really rent the place for. It's just a room, and I'm not going to allow anybody to use any space in the garage because the garage is full of my tools and equipment, and I don't want no one in there possibly stealing anything of any kind. So I'm just renting a room. I had a roommate in there before, and I only was letting her pay $300. I make good money, and I can afford most of it.
When did you have a roommate there before?
She had lived with me at an apartment prior for 2 years, and she was in our place together with us for maybe 4 or 5, 6 months at the most.
You mean when you were living together?
Correct.
So how much rent were you each paying?
I was still paying the $540, my portion, because I didn't want to get used to relying on someone else paying an additional portion of the rent.
Is that right?
Yeah, we were splitting half the rent.
Yeah.
Okay, but I didn't get any utilities of any kind from her because of the other roommate.
Yeah, because of Melissa.
What utilities?
Phone, electrical.
You mean Melissa didn't pay her own phone bill?
She did have her own phone, but she used mine quite often.
Sure, but she used her own phone. And what about the two
She
of
used
you?
mine quite often, too. Not to mention, she didn't have a car. I drove her everywhere she needed to go.
You plan on staying there in the
I plan on
house?
staying there simply for the fact that to move and to come up with first and last and security somewhere else would be a problem for me because financially this is putting me in the hole every month. The reason why, as far as the house goes, the reason why I wanted to rent a house and not an apartment is because I have a lot of tools and equipment on which I do a lot of work on cars and welding and things like that. I wanted a 2-car garage. And we were happy finding a house that had a 2-car garage so I could enjoy my hobbies.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I'm suspect that not one person answered these ads in the paper.
I've had 2 calls.
I'm sorry about that, sir. Listen to me. Get over it.
And later today,
When this was put through the mail slot in your dog jumped up. And when she jumped down, she hurt her back legs. So you're suing her. Correct.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Robert Nicholson is suing former live-in lover Michelle Shannon for rent he says she owes after she moved out.
This relationship clearly didn't work out. There were several alternatives. One alternative was for you to stay together in an acrimonious situation, which is untenable for people who are married and ridiculous for people who are not married. The defendant, as far as I could see, did everything she could to be reasonable. Reasonable was the relationship wasn't working out. She said, I'm going to pay December's rent. I'm not here. You can have the security deposit, which is another half month's rent. I'm being very fair with you. We shouldn't be together. Either make other arrangements for another roommate or tell the landlord that you're going to give the landlord 3 months to find a new tenant, but that you have to leave. You chose not to do that.
I did put my ads in the paper.
Sir, I can't tell, and quite frankly, I'm suspect that you did not find somebody, that not one person answered these ads in the paper.
I've had 2 calls.
For a house for $350 a month.
I've had 2 calls.
Well, I don't know what you said to them, and I don't know whether you're as angry with her, whether you're so angry with her and irritated with her that you say, I'm not going to try to mitigate the damages, but clearly you like staying in that house. You
Yes, I
just
do.
told me you can afford to stay in that house.
No, I cannot, by myself.
Well, if you can't afford to stay in the house, sir, then what I absolutely advise you to do is to let the landlord know that you have to move out. You still have her half of the security deposit, which would amount to 1 month's rent. I am going to give you 1/2 of another month's rent of hers, or $500. You find somebody else to live with, or let your landlord know that they have 3 months grace to do that, and you would each pay for half of that.
And if they take me to court for the remainder of the lease?
I'm sorry about that, sir. Listen to me. Get over it.
I'm over it.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thanks for nothing. She's undedicated and undevoted and doesn't know what loyalty is, and she was cheating on me, seeing someone at her work.
I didn't want to be with him anymore. And I did not cheat on him. I would just like to say that.
And now the next case.
All parties on Hennigan versus Clifford. Step forward, please.
Real estate agent Betty Hennigan says Irene Clifford caused her toy fox terrier, Speckles, to be injured.
All right. Now, Miss Hennigan,
Yes,
this is the dog in question.
this is Speckles.
Very nice dog. According to your complaint, you and the defendant live in the same housing complex. Is that right?
That's correct.
Your complaint indicates that the defendant put some political propaganda in your mail slot, which is in the door.
Correct. Excuse me, can I just say that it was her flyer. I didn't physically see her, but I'm sure she authorized the propaganda.
So you didn't see her put it in, but it was her propaganda that was slipped through your
authorized
door.
the
She
distribution.
authorized somebody to do it.
Correct, Your Honor.
And when this was put through the mail slot in your door, your dog jumped up.
Correct.
And when she jumped down, she hurt her back legs.
Correct.
So you're suing her.
Correct. Your Honor, if I
It's
just
just
might
a-
add, it really isn't funny if anybody ever heard a dog yelp in excruciating pain.
I don't think that that's why anyone in the court gallery is chuckling, Miss Hennigan. I think that the reason they're chuckling is how you could blame that on somebody else.
Well, the reason I blamed it on somebody else is that would be the same as somebody violating my privacy, that mail slot is to be used only by U.S. postal employees, and I do have a statement and an investigation that's going on by the postal authorities because not anybody is supposed to be able to go into your mailbox.
Miss Clifford,
Yes.
you don't look like a terrorist.
No, I'm not.
So I'd like to know what kind of political propaganda this was that was slipped through her door.
Well, it was one sheet of paper. This happened on February 2nd. We were having voting on February 4th. And
Voting
Ms.
for what?
To elect, well, really to remove 2 dissident directors from the board of directors and to elect 2 new directors. Now, Ms. Hennigan moved in late in March, I understand, and she joined up with the dissident group, which is about 20 or 30 people. So
Excuse
Say
I
no.
have here a list of 26 things that went through her door
Just show me
that
the one.
weren't invasion of privacy.
Just a second. I'm not worried about invasion. Just show me, please, what the document is that you're complaining of, Miss Hennigan, if you still have
This
it.
document actually has my little dog's teeth right in the top of it.
All right, let me see this. Let me see this.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You have not taught your dog to read, is that right?
That's-
Dog doesn't read.
No, but the dog does not have to have mail delivered at 20 to 8 at night.
And your dog knows how to tell the time?
Closed captioning sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Betty Hennigan claims neighbor Irene Clifford caused injury to her fox terrier, Speckles.
All right. So this isn't clearly not a terrorist propaganda. This says, warning to all members from Irene Clifford. That's you.
Right.
And then it encourages you, the people, to come and vote
Correct.
at the next meeting of the cooperative board
Correct.
or
Members.
to elect new members, etc. Ms. Hennigan, I'm going to let you finish telling me about why you think. First of all, I'm going to ask Ms. Clifford, did you actually put this through her door, or did somebody else?
No, I didn't. I have a map here. I was in my unit here, and this is the unit where it was delivered.
But Irene, you
A half
authorized
a block
somebody.
away.
Ms. Hennigan, don't speak to her.
I'm sorry.
You did not personally deliver
No,
this.
I did not.
But this came from you and you gave it to other members of the board to deliver?
They weren't on the board yet.
Okay, but you gave it to other members and everybody
Members.
put it through the mail slots.
Right,
Is
which
that right?
we've done for 26 years before she moved in.
All right, so if you want to notify somebody of a meeting,
Right.
you want to notify someone that the water is going to be shut off,
Right.
or that the electricity is going to be shut off, what you do is you take a flyer and you put it through the mail.
In the townhouses, in the garden apartments, they tack them to our door because we don't have the openings. We have a main one for 17 units.
Okay, but in the houses, this lady has it through her door.
Right.
Okay. Why you have your hand up?
Well, because when they announce when the meetings are going to take place, they do put a flyer. It's on a fence before it goes into a grassed-in area, and there's also a bulletin board near the on-site manager's office. And when we want to find out when there are going to be meetings held, we have to look there. It is not a common practice. There's postings for the meetings.
Miss Hennigan, listen to me very carefully.
Yes.
How long have you been living there?
I've been living there since August.
Okay. And you have your mail delivered there?
Yes, I do.
And the mail is delivered through the door slot?
Correct.
And the mailman delivers the mail there, other than holidays, 6 days a week?
Correct.
You have not taught your dog to read, is that right?
That's correct.
So the dog cannot differentiate whether there is political propaganda or a piece of mail coming through your door slot, is that right?
No, the
Is that
dog
right?
doesn't.
Dog doesn't read.
No, but the dog does not have to have mail delivered at 20 to 8 at night. I actually truly introduced my dog to our mail person. It's a mail lady, and she does know the dog, and she exercises a little bit of concern, of caution. She doesn't want to be hurt in the mail slot, nor did I want my little dog hurt. This was 20 at 8 at night, Your Honor. It wasn't during a normal time of day when the U.S. Postal would be delivering mail.
And your dog knows how to tell the time?
No, but the dog does know when it's dark out.
Miss Hennigan, it could be dark out when it's dark in the morning because it's raining and that's when the postman delivers. You were irritated because this came through your door and because your dog was injured. But that doesn't mean she's responsible because she happens to be the author of this piece of paper. You're being ridiculous, madam. You're being ridiculous.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
Your complaint is ludicrous. Your complaint is absolutely ludicrous. You put a notification that she did not put through the door. You have no proof that she put it through the door, despite the fact that it has her name on it. She did not put it through the door. And you're suing this lady because your dog jumped up. Has your dog ever jumped up like that before?
Yes, my dog jumps, yes.
Jumped up like that for mail before.
But she was never hurt.
Has your dog ever jumped up like that for mail before?
Yes, she has.
All right. So that you've seen it.
Yes.
Then what you do is you put a basket there, you put a sign there, put my mail outside, because you're the one that had noticed that your dog jumps up for the mail. She doesn't have that notice.
But, Your Honor, I even have it from the postal inspector.
You told me postal inspector 4 times. I'm telling you common sense, madam. Common sense. She's not responsible for this. Don't be ridiculous. And I'm going to tell you something else. If you live in a cooperative apartment or if you live in a condominium where everybody is supposed to get along, to start this kind of difficulty over nonsense is not a good way to start being a good neighbor. Your case is dismissed, that's all.
Your
Parties
Honor,
are
excuse me.
excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on
All parties on Gobolios versus Murphy. Step forward, please.
71-year-old Arpad Gabolios is suing 35-year-old teacher Terry Murphy for trashing his house, not paying rent, and forging his checks.
Order. All rise. Now, this is case number 659 on the calendar in the matter of Gobolios versus Murphy. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Gobolios,
Yes,
you own a home here in California?
Yes, I do.
And according to your complaint, you also live part of the year in Hungary.
Yes, I do.
And it's been your practice to rent your home during the period of time that you're there.
Exactly, Your Honor.
You rented your home to the defendant.
Yes, Your Honor.
When did her tenancy begin?
on February 1st and ended on November 1st of 1998.
And according to your papers, sir, the arrangement was she was to pay rent to an agent that you had here.
Exactly, Your
And
Honor.
the rent was, for a furnished house, was $500 a month?
Yes, Your Honor.
And she was to pay her own utilities with the exception of one thing.
The cable TV.
And you were to pay that.
Yes, Your Honor.
According to you, you left her some checks that were made out to the cable company for the months that you would be away.
That is absolutely correct, Your Honor.
And they were actually made out to the cable company?
Yes, Your Honor. Century Cable.
Tell me what happened, sir, when you came home at the end of October.
I came home on October 31st, and just about midnight, because the plane was late, and I found the door, the entrance door open. Most every light was on, and the whole house was a mess, and my bedroom, the master bedroom, was broken into.
Had you had that locked when you left?
Yes, Your Honor, it was locked.
So it was locked, and she had the use of all the other parts of the house except your bedroom.
Except my bedroom and except my wine cellar. Well, I have to explain, Your Honor, that the garage I converted to a wine cellar because I make my own wine. And then I found the sofa from the living room moved into the wine cellar. I also have pictures to show that, and I can show you how my whole house was trashed.
Let me see, please.
On one of those pictures, you can see the barrels, the wine barrels, and the sofa in front.
Is this the way you found the outside of the house, sir, with all these papers and garbage?
No, it was a couple days later, Your Honor.
What do you mean a couple of days later?
Well, because she left a few things behind, and I asked her to come and get it, but she didn't get it right away, and came back 2 days later or something, and then she trashed the sidewalk, as you see at the front.
You say that she didn't pay you rent. During what period of time didn't she pay you rent, sir?
She didn't pay the last month rent of October.
Did you pay him the last month's rent?
I paid the rent. I do not know what happened to it.
Show me, you paid
I
by
don't
check.
The check never went through.
So that you didn't pay him. Take a look at this garbage on the front of his house. Tell me how that happened.
It happened because he came home, locked me out of the house, and threw all my belongings out of the house. That night, I had the police come and a locksmith to let me in. And the police told him he was responsible for any belongings of mine that were destroyed, lost, or damaged.
Why did you trash the front of that house?
I had to come over for 5 days in a row and go through the trash, go through the garbage in order to get my belongings out of the garbage.
Is that the reason that you're telling me that the front of his house looks like that?
Yes.
Okay. So I have $500 that you owe him for the last month's rent. Now, he says that you forged some checks. Show me, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Show these to the defendant. Did you change the payee on those checks?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. May I explain?
Sure.
When I came, Your Honor, he had somebody in there a short period of time. He wasn't going to rent to me, and then something happened between them. I came in, I paid a deposit on January 20th. I moved in on February 7th. Because of the short length of time, he said, I've got to find somebody, I'm leaving. He left the next day on the 8th. So I was to pay for the electricity, the telephone, and he was paying the rest of the utilities. That was the verbal contract. I do not have that in writing. In April, I came home one day and the water was turned off. I had no idea why. I called up the water company. They said, Mr. Gabolis hasn't paid for the water. So then I put the water in my name. In October, all of a sudden I come home, the gas is off. If I was to put them in my name, or if it was to be changed, he didn't stop them. I was unaware that they were supposed to be in my name. So I took the checks that he had given for the cable, and I paid the bills that I thought he was supposed to be paying.
You can't do that. You can't do that. That's forgery.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I'm talking to you, madam, about calling your bank and saying, check number 467, put a stop payment on it immediately because it's lost. That's what normal people who are articulate do. Anybody who knows how to forge checks knows how to do that.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Arpad Gabolios claims Terry Murphy trashed his house, didn't pay rent, and forged his name on his checks. Terry is countersuing for her security deposit.
He gave you checks made out to a cable company, and you changed it to Southern California Edison, California Water. What's GTE?
The telephone company.
Telephone company, $285 in October. You were living there since February. He didn't have a phone bill for $285. Telephone. So you have an excuse for the telephone bill too?
At that point, I was tired of being harassed and having things turned off and having people come into my house without my permission. And yes, I got angry, and it wasn't the correct thing to do.
It sure wasn't. $285 for the phone, $72 for water, and $139.47 for Con Edison in October.
Your Honor, may I read part of the agreement which she signed?
Yes.
The rent is $500 a month plus $500 security deposit. The $500 rent is payable at the first Friday of every month to Tom Biscorny, a neighbor and friend of Arpad Gabolios. During the above-mentioned 9 months, lessor will be in Hungary, and at that time, lessee will pay all utility bills, including gas, electric, and water bills.
At the time that occurred, Your Honor, he was leaving the next day. He didn't want to write a new lease agreement, and it was all verbal.
No, that's too bad. Just a second. Not finished yet. You also say that she stole some property from your house.
Yes, Your Honor.
What did she take?
She stole a table from my den. I have some proofs here. This is she left the 4 chairs and the leaf, the middle of that, and it shows even the.
Where's his table?
I have no idea, Your Honor. I didn't take his table. Other people had access to that house and came into the house without my permission and without notifying me. And there were people he gave the keys to.
Where did you go on October 31st when he came home? He came home, and I absolutely believe him, that the front door was open, that all the lights were on. Where had you gone that evening?
I had gone, it was a 3-day weekend. I'd gone out for the weekend. I didn't know he was coming home.
Just a second. So you went away from the weekend, you left the door unlocked.
No, I didn't, Your Honor.
And you left the door unlocked, and you left all the... Oh, he's telling me the truth. There's no question in my mind about that. What was the value of this table?
About $700.
Show me. You have to show me. Proof.
I don't have the table, Your Honor.
Well, you have a bill for it?
Well, no, I do not, because I bought it a long time ago, some 20 years ago.
Okay, 20 years ago, sir. It looks like a Formica table. Is that what it is?
No, wood table. Wood.
Wood table.
As you can see it on a picture, Your Honor.
Okay. Doesn't look like a very expensive table, sir. But whether she took it herself or whether because of her negligence it was taken by somebody else, she's responsible for it. I've given you $300 for the table, sir. I want to tell you something. I find this business with forgery of checks very serious business, Miss Murphy. Very serious. You're just lucky he decided not to prosecute you. He could have.
Well, he was cited for criminal charges, and he's had previous criminal charges for what he's done to his tenants.
For what? With regard to you?
Forcible entry and unlawful detainer, and I didn't start the criminal action.
Well, how did the police find out about it?
Because I was locked out of the house, and I had been paying the rent. And
No,
I
you
came
didn't
home
pay-
and the locks were changed.
You didn't pay the last month's rent.
Well, Your Honor, you read my opening statements, correct?
I sure did.
Okay.
I'm asking you to show me a check.
I took the rent over to the person it's supposed to go to. I put it in to their mailbox. On October 14th, he called me up and said, I didn't get the rent for this month. I said, okay, can you put that in writing for me and I will issue you a new check. Never heard from him again
He
until
doesn't have to put it in writing, Miss Murphy.
Well,
If you're
when
a
my
smart-
mail is
you're-
being
you're-
stolen and people are
listen.
coming into my house.
Hey, Miss Murphy, I wasn't born yesterday, madam. When somebody says I didn't get a check, you don't say, put it in writing. You call your bank and you say, this is my check number. I want you to put a stop payment on that check because I'm reissuing a check. That's what you say. Anybody who knows how to forge checks knows how to do that.
Not when
So you
people have
fo-
been breaking into my house and taking my mail.
I don't care whether they have or not. I'm not talking about breaking into your house and taking your mail. I'm talking to you, madam, about calling your bank and saying, check number 467, has it cleared? No. Put a stop payment on it immediately because it's lost, because I'm issuing a new check for it. That's what normal people who are articulate do. And don't tell me you didn't know how to do that because I won't believe you.
I did know how to do it, but I
So
felt
why
he
didn't you
was-
do it?
Because I felt that the neighbor was playing games with me and I wanted it in writing.
That is the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Well, if
that is the
man
dumbest
is-
thing I ever heard. You believed the neighbor because he was playing games with you, so you wanted him to put it in writing instead of calling your bank and saying, put a stop order on the check.
I would have done both, Your Honor. And I
Why
would have
didn't
given
you
him the
do
check.
one? Just call and put a stop payment on the check. You thought you'd get away with the last month? Forget it. It's not going to happen.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And later today,
I made a mistake and I signed some paperwork I shouldn't have signed.
Of course not, because you were living together. Come on, this is ridiculous.
closed captioning sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. 71-year-old Arpad Gabolios is suing 35-year-old teacher Terry Murphy for trashing his house, not paying rent, and forging his checks.
Now listen to me. You have a cross complaint. You want a return of your security deposit?
If I didn't get an explanation as to why I kept it, and he never asked me
Give her
for
the
rent.
pictures. That's the explanation. I want to tell you something, madam. If I came home and found somebody had forged my name to checks and hadn't paid rent and left my house open, unlocked, with all the lights on, I would have given you nothing. Nothing. Your counterclaim is dismissed. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,296.47. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I shouldn't have changed his checks, but I was very angry and frustrated by them that things were turned off that weren't supposed to be turned off.
She didn't remember that she's supposed to pay all the utilities. You know, I mean, with her background, she has a major psychology or something like that. You know, I mean, it's rather obvious that she's a crook.
And now the next case.
All parties on Mitchell versus Miller. Step forward, please.
28-year-old lab tech Janet Mitchell claims former live-in lover, machinist Jonathan Miller, 27, owes her for supporting him while they were together.
Miss Mitchell, you and the defendant, according to the complaint, lived together for about 2.5 years. Is that right?
Yes.
And you say that after a rather acrimonious breakup, he owes you a whole bunch of money for living expenses during that time.
Yes.
What kind of an arrangement did you have with the defendant with regard to living expenses?
There was no at the time arrangement. There was a period where after about a year we decided we were going to break up, and I made up an itemized list of what he owed me at that point. And we agreed that he would start making me payments. Well, we reconciled and decided not to break up at that point and give it a try, and we tried for about another 1.5 years. And after we had dissolved the relationship, I brought to him another itemized list of further expenses, and he signed it. I have the list.
Let me see it, please. Did you sign this, sir?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
So then what are you doing here?
I don't agree with the amounts. The reasons I had signed that at the time being was I was trying to reconcile with Janet at the time, and I thought that maybe that would help out, so I made a mistake and I signed some paperwork I shouldn't have signed.
But quite frankly, when I read your papers, and Miss Mitchell indicated in her papers that while you were together, you turned over your paycheck to her.
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
And she paid the bills.
Yes, ma'am.
And you agree that he gave his paychecks to you.
He did, but the expenses on that were above and beyond what was just normally paid for by the bills, which was electricity, rent, different things like that. The others were vacations for his children and his wife, ex-wife.
2 months without pay.
Yes.
What does that mean?
I was unemployed for about a month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah.
I was working, but it was as a salesman, so there wasn't income coming in. So.
Well, when this happened, when you were not working, did you have a discussion with each other about what was going to happen with this money?
No, we did not, due to my hours at the time period, Your Honor.
No, what I'm asking you is, at the time that you were out of work, did you discuss with him, well, you're out of work at this time, but I will cover the expenses, but you owe me what you would ordinarily be earning, so that when you get a job, you'll have to recoup this amount as well as another amount. Did you indicate that to him?
No, I didn't, but...
Of course not. Of course not, because you were living together. Come on, this is ridiculous.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
What's a bike frame?
It's a mountain bike frame for a mountain bike. It's just the body without the tires, gears, derailleurs.
Well, how did you get it?
I purchased it from a company.
Did you pay for it?
It took me a year and a half to pay it off because it was a $1,200 frame. So I was paying on it monthly. And then I did receive a payment from Janet. She did give me a couple $100 to put down on the bike when I was buying it.
Was it a loan or was it a gift?
It was never stated either way.
Is that right?
Yes, it was. No, it was stated that it was a loan.
And what's the plane ticket for your kids? And I assume that this is your ex-wife.
Now it is, yes. About 2.5 years ago, I'd say, while Janet and I were living together, we had my daughter and my son and my ex-wife fly out for vacation so I could see my kids because it would be cheaper than us flying out there. And so we had my ex-wife and kids come out and visit us, and Janet did put that on her credit card.
Let me see the bills.
I don't have them. The only thing I had was that signed itemization that he gave me.
You don't have any bills?
No, I don't. I didn't think that I would be needing to save those receipts or anything like that.
Miss Mitchell, clearly you had the bills, madam. Clearly you had the bills when, and all the amounts, when you made out this list. I mean, you have 2 nights with kids at a hotel, $32. Where did you get that figure from?
That was how much it was.
Well, where did you, what I'm asking you is
From
where
my
did,
memory. From my memory.
From your memory?
A lot of that stuff was done guesstimate by memory because I knew that it was $32 a night, and I didn't have the receipts, but I remembered that it was $32 a night.
I'm dismissing your case, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the
All parties on Freeman versus Sharaf. Step forward, please.
39-year-old mechanic Charles Freeman claims Abe Sheriff's 16-year-old son, Sammy Sheriff, dropped Charles' 8-year-old son, Taylor, on his head, resulting in 22 stitches.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 678 on the calendar in the matter of Freeman versus Sharaf. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Freeman, this must be Taylor, is that right?
Yes,
And Mrs. Sharaf, this must be Sam.
that's right.
These 2 young men were friends. How old is Sam?
He's 16.
And were the families friendly?
I would say yes.
According to your complaint, Mr. Freeman, Sam was playing with your son, and your son was injured.
Yes.
Were you present?
No, I wasn't.
Who was present?
My wife,
Is she here?
she's right here.
Perfect.
And, of course, Taylor and my son Vance.
All right. Now, Ms. Freeman, why don't you explain to me exactly how your son was injured? Did you see it?
Yes, I did.
The whole thing?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't you start from the beginning?
We had just returned from the bike shop, and we parked on the street. We had to walk approximately half a block to our home. And I was just locking up the truck when I turned around and noticed Sam tossing my son in the air over a rough pavement. And I noticed that was a very dangerous act. So before I could get to him, I was crossing the street. The accident had already occurred. My son was dropped approximately 3 to 4 feet from Sam's shoulders.
When you say he was tossing him up in the air, had he been on his shoulders?
No, it was more like a fireman's carry.
Show me.
Like this.
So he had him over one shoulder. That's the way he was walking with him.
They had already stopped and he had tossed him up like this and was twirling him around.
Mm-hmm. And you were right behind them.
They were already across the street. I was locking the truck.
You saw it. You can't be locking the truck and seeing them at the same time, Miss Freeman. So what I'm asking you is, you saw him enough to see him throwing him over one shoulder, throwing him over another shoulder, and my question to you is, did you say, put him down right now?
I started to run across the street. I couldn't get to it in time.
Miss Freeman, if I saw somebody engaging in conduct that I thought was dangerous with my child, and I was just across the street, I would scream, put him down.
I yelled.
You just told me that you didn't yell. You just told me that you started to run across the street.
Yelling, I'm sorry.
No, Miss Freeman, you didn't. Come on. You didn't. You weren't there, right?
I wasn't there.
But he was there. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Come on up here, Sam. Tell me what happened, Sam.
Well, we came back from the bike shop and we were walking. We all got out of the truck. Donna was locking up the truck. And we were walking and I picked Taylor up and I had him like on my shoulder. And well, I go to put him down and he was like, his head was right here and I went like that to put him down and he hit his head on the ground.
How long have you and Taylor been friends?
I've known Vance since 4th grade.
So it's you and Vance who are friends?
Yeah.
Step up here, Vance. Friends?
Yes.
And you were walking with them when you saw Sam pick up Taylor?
I didn't see him, but I turned around. I was walking, and I turned around, and Taylor was on the ground. I heard a hit on the ground.
So you didn't see it?
No, I walked past him as he picked him up.
Okay. Now you can sit down. All right, Taylor. How are you?
Good.
How old are you?
8 and a half.
8 and a half. And how old were you when this happened?
8.
You remember what happened that day?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Why don't you tell me what happened?
We just got back from the bike shop. We just got out of the truck, and he put me on his shoulders, and he dropped me, and I got up and I said, "Why'd you do that for?" Then he picked me up and went to the house and he put me on the couch. And then my mom called 911. Then they came and then they took me to the hospital.
And you had played that way with him before? Where he picked you up and put you over his shoulders?
Yes.
Where had you played like that before?
By our driveway.
And when you played like that before, was your mom home?
Yes.
Did you ever tell your mom that you didn't want Sam to do that?
No.
Because you were having a good time?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Was your mom ever outside when she saw? When you were playing like that? So she was in the house?
Yes.
Okay. You're a nice boy.
Thank you.
And you learn fast. See how good you are? Yes, no, right? Very nice. Okay, so your lawsuit, Mr. and Mrs. Freeman, is for medical bills.
Yes.
When I read your papers, this seemed like a very unfortunate situation because these two boys used to be friends. And I don't know why they're not friends anymore.
They're still friends, but they're not able to play at each other's houses.
Why?
Sam's more than welcome to be at our home, but unfortunately Vance was told he can no longer go over there.
Why?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Why is that?
Your Honor, because I was afraid from the liability about it. So I did speak to my son not to go there, and I told him in the meantime, I don't like to see Vance in our house.
There are several theories under which you are not entitled to recoup from this young man and his family your medical expenses. First, parents are, or I believe should be, liable for the torts, that is, the negligent acts of their children. In this situation, you were aware, or should have been aware, that this is the way your 8-year-old child played. Now, you may say that you didn't see it, but as a parent, you have the responsibility to see it because you have the responsibility to supervise at all times your child who was 8 years old. Then he would have been on notice. Don't pick him up, don't throw him over your shoulder.
Can I say one thing? Your
Sure.
Honor? I would never allow anybody to toss my son around and play like that over cement.
What I'm telling you is,
I've never seen it.
if you never saw it, you should have seen it. You weren't paying attention.
I don't
You
believe
should
that.
have seen it.
I don't believe he ever did do it over cement. We have a big grass front yard.
Listen, madam, you're not talking to somebody who's 35 years old. You're talking to about a boy who was 15 or 16. And he's not saying the cement child can get just as injured over grass as he can over cement. You know, you said if I saw him playing with him over the grass, it wouldn't have been so terrible if he was throwing him over the shoulder, because if he fell, he would have fell on grass. That's ridiculous.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And later today,
The only thing that I don't believe, sir, is the word investment. Investment is made up in your mind.
Well, not if you intend to give money back.
No, if you intend to give the money back, it's a loan.
this is Real People, Judge Judy. Charles Freeman is suing Abe Sheriff for his 8-year-old's 22 stitches after Abe's 16-year-old son, Sammy, dropped the young Taylor on his head.
This is the kind of accident that's nobody's fault, Mrs. Freeman. It's nobody's fault. It's certainly not the kind of situation that requires a lawsuit, because it isn't anybody's fault. It is truly an accident, and everybody bears a little bit of culpability. He certainly will know for next time that he shouldn't do that, and you as a parent who's much older and much wiser will know that you have to supervise your children better. So this is not something that should have broken up a friendship between these two boys. That's very, very unfortunate. Fortunately for you, and fortunately for this gorgeous little boy, he wasn't seriously injured, because he's here today and he's fine and he's bright and he's articulate and he's got a good memory of the events. So clearly it didn't injure him long term. For that you should be grateful.
Thank God.
Not sue. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Good to see you, honey.
This way. Out the back door to your right.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Hey.
He had a severe gaping hole in his head that had required plastic surgery and 22 stitches.
It was an accident.
It was unfortunate accident, and thanks goodness now the accident behind us. We're looking forward to for Sammy to rebuild his friendship with his friend, and thanks goodness too for Taylor injuries, not bad. And we would like to be friends with the Freemans again.
I want to be friends with Vance again.
And now the next case.
All parties on Bennett versus Snipes. Step forward, please.
44-year-old school groundskeeper Myron Bennett is suing his nephew, 27-year-old pager business owner Wilfred Snipes, for a $6,000 loan. Wilfred says it was a business investment that lost.
Mr. Bennett, this is your nephew.
Correct. Yes.
You claim that you made a loan to him, substantial loan,
Yes, I did.
and he hasn't repaid you.
Correct.
So why don't you tell me how it came about that you made this loan and for what amount?
Okay, this happened back in July of '98, and at the time I just got a settlement from my job, and he had came by my house and asked to make a loan for a pager company that he wanted to get started. And I loaned him the money, and he wrote me a little paper saying how he was going to pay me back in about 3 to 4 months, and
Let me
I
see the
haven't
paper.
received anything. And this is the cashier's check also.
me about this pager business of yours.
Okay, what I have, I have a pager business, and
Look at me.
What I have, the pager company, and what I did, I offered him if you would like to make an investment in the company to increase my profit. And I told him with that matter that he would be able to receive like checks every month after the business grow.
I never heard anything like that, Your Honor.
Things change every day. Prices fluctuate on the pager company, on pages itself. So what I had bought, Motorola came out with another mark and just
Mr.
dominated
Snipes,
that.
you're doing a lot of double talk for me, sir.
Basically,
Your Honor, first of all, I would have, if I would have went into business with him, I would have signed an agreement for me to be on the company also. Nothing like that never happened. And the only reason why I loaned him the money was because it's my favorite nephew, and I believe what he told me at the time that I gave it to him, they would have it back to me. And I asked for it over and over again. We had an argument on the phone. He cursorily, I can't use the words that he used toward me on the phone, saying that I get it whenever he get it, and I just would have to wait. And the only thing I got from him is that I get a free pager service from him, which basically only $8 a month, if you want to call that payments,
You don't have that many years.
Exactly.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
No. Look in my eyes, sir. Stop shifting from foot to foot and look in my eyes.
Closed captioning sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Myron Bennett claims his nephew, Wilfred Snipes, owes him for a loan. Wilfred says it was a misunderstanding. It was a business investment.
All right, I read your defense, sir. Convince me that this was a business investment.
Well, only way I can convince you
look here.
is by telling you on what
You went to his house.
Right.
Start with, I went to his house.
Okay, I went to my uncle's house, and I knew he was coming to some money, so I asked him, could he give me some money, and basically in order what I need to do with it. It was to increase my profit in order to kind of like help him as well as help myself on expanding my business more as I would like to.
Convince me it was a business.
Well, that's what it is, I have a pager company.
Well, I know you have a pager company.
Right.
Convince me that your uncle went in as an investor in your business, other than in your own mind.
I can't convince you no other way about just a verbal agreement, basically. That
Well, I didn't hear a verbal agreement. I heard you went there, you asked him to give you the money because you wanted to increase your business.
The only other people I got is my brother right here, my brother Derek Snipes, which can say that he was there with me when I said it myself.
Oh, well, step up here. You were there. Was he there with him?
Yes, he was.
Let's hear. You're the brother.
Yes, I was there. Basically, he did. He told him that it's an investment. You will get your money back on top of more money. And they basically had a verbal agreement.
Tell me the conversation, if you remember it.
I do. My brother came up. We all came there together, and he told him, I'm opening a business. He said, okay, what do you want to do? He said, I do need some money to help things get started. I'll get it back to you. Would you like to put an investment in it? My uncle said, yeah.
The only thing that I don't believe, sir, is the word investment. That's the only thing I don't believe. I believe he came to you, I have a business, right. I need some money.
Right.
That I believe. Investment is made up in your mind.
Well, not if you intend to give money back.
No, if you intend to give the money back, it's a loan. It's a loan.
But as an investment, when you invest in something, you expect your money back.
He was investing in your brother's word that he would repay him the money.
Right, and he will. He just didn't pay him fast enough.
$8 a month, free pager service since July isn't exactly payment back. Do you work?
I work for my brother's company, actually.
How many other people work for the company?
There's two more. There's a secretary and there's another person that charges.
Well, you get paid, don't you?
Sometimes when it's going good.
You get paid. And who's the secretary?
Another friend of the family, and she gets paid.
And she gets paid.
Right.
Right. And who else is there?
The guy that does the crystals on the pager.
And does that guy get paid?
Yes.
Why didn't he get paid?
He will.
We just wait and let it grow. It takes time for a company to grow.
No. That's if He's in business with you. Now, let me tell you what happened. Look in my eyes, sir. Stop shifting from foot to foot and look in my eyes.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. Are you in a family dispute? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
How much money did you put in this business? Cash, money. Look at me.
About the same.
About the same.
Right.
So if he's an investor and you put in 50% and he put in 50%, then he should be a 50% partner with you. Do you intend to give him 50% of your profits?
No.
If looks like you're winning, right?
But it's this. Okay.
But look, it wasn't meant like that because he just was coming in there. I mean, ain't like he was doing no work.
Just a second. A, I don't believe you put in $6,000.
I didn't stop putting in 6.
How? Well, yes, you did. You said about the same. About the same is about the same.
But I ain't say the full 6 now.
Okay. Because I don't believe you put in 6. I believe maybe you had 6 to start up the whole business. That was his 6 that you had to start up the whole business. Maybe you put in $12. Maybe you put in $18.
Because you got to advertise, put the flyers, buy the pages, buy the crystals, buy the computer system.
Yeah, with his $6,000.
The disc alone cost you $2,000.
Right, that's another 4. You still got 4 left over. So he put in all the money. He put in all the money. You were doing all the work. Well, seems to me that if he put in all the money, and if I believe your story, which I don't, by the way, that this was an investment, then he should get 50% of all your profits. And you just told me, oh no, he's not going to get 50% of my profits. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Well,
do you know that?
That wasn't an agreement. That's not no agreement. That wasn't an agreement. I mean, if I give somebody 50% of my profit, how am I going to maintain running the company?
Just a second. So what was your agreement?
The agreement was that I will pay him, monthly as the company grows, whatever the profit
As the company grows, you were going to pay him monthly. Just a second. Is what you want me to believe that when you were sitting there and saying, I need this $6,000, you had this whole discussion with him, and as the business comes in, I'm going to be able to give you money, a little bit of money every month? You telling that what you want me to believe? Hey, look at my eyes. Yeah? Wrong. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Back to your right, please.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
All parties on Grant Family Daycare versus Bachman. Step forward, please.
Chris and Julie Grant of Heart to Heart Daycare are suing 28-year-old accounting clerk Shawneen Bachman for not paying the bill for her 8-year-old daughter's care. Shawneen claims her daughter Kayleen was injured falling off the monkey bars.
All rise. Now, this is case number 656 on the calendar in the matter of Grant Family Daycare versus Bachman. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Miss Grant, you run an after-school program or a daycare center?
Yes, I do.
You're suing for a relatively small amount of money, $139. And that $139 is because the defendant withdrew her daughter from your program.
Yes.
And failed to give you 2 weeks' notice.
Correct.
Okay, so it's not that she had the service, it's just that in violation of the contract, she withdrew the child without giving you an appropriate amount of time to get somebody to fill her spot.
Correct.
And Ms. Bachman, you say there was very good reason for that.
Yes, there was.
So I'd like to hear that.
On December 21st, I went to pick my daughter up, and, I signed her out, and that was it. They said goodbye, and so my daughter, Kayleen, kept saying her wrist had hurt. So I looked at it, and it was swollen, and then on her left hand, there was dried up blood. So then I told my daughter if it still hurt, I would take her to the doctors. I didn't think it was that important because no one told me that she was hurt when I picked her up.
Well, did she tell you she was hurt?
She did, but I didn't think it was that major because I wasn't aware of it when I picked her up. So I looked at it and, it was a little swollen. And so then the next day I asked Julie what had happened. She told me what happened.
What did she tell you?
That she wasn't there. One of her daycare assistants was there, and they took care of her, and they put ice on her wrist.
Tell me what happened.
Kayleen?
You want to tell me what happened at the daycare center with her little girl?
Yes. On the day in question, the 21st, she was on the A-bars. that we
What?
have in my backyard. I have pictures to show what the A-bars look like. Here you go. And apparently she fell off of the A-bars where the little boy is in the picture, and came to the daycare people, the two helpers that I have, Miss Esther and Miss Marissa, and told her that she had hurt her arm, and they asked her if she needed ice. She wasn't crying, to my knowledge, and so they brought her in and gave her ice, and she was there for about approximately 10 or 15 minutes. At that time, she ran back out to play and proceeded to do the same thing again. And they asked the second time if she wanted to have the ice on her, and she declined the second time.
Go ahead.
When I got home that day, the helpers told me what had happened, and in fact, Kayleen actually came to me and said, I hurt my arm, and I said, are you okay? And she said, yeah, I'm fine. And then she went back to play. Now, when her mom came that evening, I did tell her what went on.
What did you tell her?
I told her that she fell off of the bars, and that I'm really sorry that she did that. We put ice on it, that I happened to notice there was a little red spot in her arm. I said, but it went away right after that. I have 2 letters from my helpers who are currently right now watching my children as we speak.
I can't accept letters from your helpers.
What we do have the sign, the ouch slip essentially, which was indicating of the injury.
You have a what?
We call it an ouch slip, which is essentially an indication to the parent of what actually occurred during that
And you
day.
gave that to the defendant?
No, she did not. No, I did not.
You did not?
No.
Why
I did
didn't you
not.
give it to her?
Because apparently when she came the following day, there had been nothing written in my book to state. We keep a record of all of the injuries that happen in the daycare, and on that day in question, my helper forgot to write it down. But I assured her when she came that second day that I would have her write it down, and she would have an ouch slip when she came back.
And as a result of that, you withdrew your child from the school?
I mean, there's been more than one incident. Yes, that's why I took her out. One of the reasons.
But it was immediately after this that you
Yes.
took her out. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, now what I'd like to see is this book that you have.
Sure.
You're licensed by the state?
Yes, I am.
Which state?
The state of California.
And how many children are you allowed to have in your facility?
I'm allowed to have 14 children.
And this is in your private house,
My
is that
private
right?
home.
How many children did you have the day she was injured?
Maybe 8 to 10.
And you say you had 2 helpers there?
Yes, I did.
What is the background of these 2 helpers?
They are a mother who has an associate arts degree in early childhood education, and at the time a 17-year-old helper who's a senior in high school.
Where were you?
I was out picking up food for the daycare.
Are you allowed to be off the premises?
Yes, I am, as long as I have 2 helpers that are qualified by the state to be there.
17-year-old is qualified by the state? Mm-hmm. I don't see how a 17-year-old can be qualified by the state.
She has fingerprints that are sent to the state. Yes, I don't have evidence that she's left.
You mean she doesn't have to have any training? All she has to do is be fingerprinted?
Fingerprinted and a child abuse index card put on her, sent to the state of Department of Justice in Sacramento.
Are you telling me that in order to care for children, all you need to be is not a convicted felon?
Correct.
That sounds outrageous to me. Mm-hmm. It would seem to me that you have, if you were smart, a higher responsibility. And that higher responsibility is to hire somebody, if you're not going to be there, that's older than 17 years old, if you're going to have 10 children that they're going to have to monitor.
Your Honor, my other helper is 28 or 29 years old, and she's a mom, and she's the one with the associate arts degree.
She has an associate's degree. I mean, she's been to college for 2 years.
Yes.
That generally is the qualifications that we find that most providers have in the industry.
That doesn't make it right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
I think you're pretty slick.
He was
Because
there?
nobody gives this kind of a note when somebody makes them a present. Unless you have a good story that you'd like to concoct for me as to why you gave him this note.
It was to pay back the money.
Right. Now you got it.
Judge Judy. Chris and Julie Grant of Heart to Heart Daycare are suing Shawneen Bachman for not paying for her 8-year-old daughter's care. Shawneen claims her daughter Kayleen was injured while under their supervision.
I'm going to quote some of the things you said to me in your testimony, Ms. Grant. You said that one of your helpers, how old are you?
8.
Asked the 8-year-old if she wanted ice. The 8-year-old said no, so she didn't give her anything the second time she was injured. A person with a certain amount of experience, a certain amount of training, would not allow an 8-year-old to choose the method of treatment for an injury. Somebody who had brains would say this is the second time the child fell on the same wrist and I have to take some action with regard to this, right? And the person that you think was qualified did not. So I think that the defendant had an absolute right and an obligation to remove her child from your daycare that very moment. And the fact that she didn't give you 2 weeks' notice is a testament to her good judgment. Your case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm just very frustrated, that's all. Seems the daycare people can't get a break, and they don't get paid very well either.
I was going down a ladder, and when I was going down, my hand had slipped, and there was a ditch right where I fell, and my hand was stuck there like this for about a minute or 2.
And now the next case.
All parties on Bauer versus Bauer. Step forward, please.
45-year-old toolmaker Joseph Bauer is suing his ex-wife, 35-year-old veterinarian assistant Brandy Bauer, for a car loan and rent. Brandy claims Joseph was abusive.
Mr. Bauer, how long were you and the defendant married?
8 years, ma'am.
When were you divorced?
1995 was when the divorce proceedings started.
When were they concluded?
1997.
It's your claim, sir, that sometime after you separated from your wife, you made a series of loans to her.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me, when were these loans made and what were they for, sir?
Well, my ex-wife and I separated, and she came to me and told me that she needed to have money for a car so that she could get a job. My main concern was that the welfare of my daughter, and without a...
Who was the child living with at the time?
At the time, she was living with Brandy.
Okay.
And she told me that she needed money for a car so she could secure a job. I told her that for me to do that, I would have to take out a share loan from my profit sharing at my work. And I had to have the money back. It was a loan. Any kind of early withdrawal would have caused me penalties both for an early withdrawal and for the tax purposes because it was a capital gain. She said, okay. She told me I could hold the pink slip on the car that she purchased as security on the loan. And so I made the payments real reasonable, $100 a month with no interest. I gave her the money, approximately $3,400. Within just a couple weeks, she came back to me and told me that she couldn't get a car for that much money. She needed another $1,000. I said, well, if you're going to do that, I want some kind of notarized paperwork saying that you have the loan with me so that we can get this above board. I asked her for the loan, for some kind of paperwork for that. She gave me a handwritten note that said that she had borrowed now $4,400.
Do you have that note?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see it?
Here's the originals. And here's the bank draft for the withdrawal for the money.
You took this note?
She gave that to me. She would not give me a notarized copy of
Just a second. Had you already given her the other $1,000 when she gave you this note?
Yes, ma'am.
And this was the only note she gave you?
She wouldn't give me anything else besides that.
Because...
She says it's a gift of money.
That's what it says. It says, I, Brandy Bauer, on this day, Friday, the 29th of September, 1995, in agreement with Joseph, this note will be exchanged to Joseph for a gift of money in the amount of $4,400.
Ma'am, I wasn't present when she gave me that.
No. But that's what she wrote.
Yes, ma'am.
And this shows that you took the money out on the 25th of you took out $1,000.
$2,000.
$2,000. But you only gave her $1,000 on that day. What'd you do with the other $1,000?
I gave
You took out $3,400.
Yes, ma'am.
And then she said she came back to you sometime later and said, I can't get a car for $3,400. I need another $1,000.
Yes, ma'am. So I took out the $2,000.
$2,000.
Gave her $1,000 of that money.
Yeah.
And held on to $1,000 because I knew she was going to need to secure insurance and the registration for the car. I wanted the pink slip with my name on it.
Okay. So out of this $2,000, you gave her $1,000.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's a total of $4,400.
Yes, ma'am.
And what else, sir?
She came to me a couple weeks after that and told me that she was going to get evicted from her apartment. She needed $500 to keep herself from getting evicted. I was worried for the safety and welfare of my daughter. At that time, I decided to make a conscious decision to throw good money after bad and loan her another $500. And I never saw a dime from that day on.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He made you loans. He may have hoped that if he made you the series of loans, you would feel kindly towards him and take them back.
Oh, yes, I know for a fact.
So what?
Free Fire India is set.
I fight, I eat again.
A new contract.
Another name to cross off my list.
Head there. Heading to supply point.
कोई नहीं है, मैं अकेला हूँ, फोन चार्ज नहीं है।
First doom.
Help me! Help me! Help me!
हाँ बोल, क्या बोल रहा है?
Good job.
The taste of victory. Yum.
Head there.
कोई नहीं है, मैं कर रहा हूँ। कॉलेज, पापा गए ड्यूटी, मम्मी भी गई। कोई भी नहीं है, मैं अकेला हूँ, क्या कर रहा हूँ?
Triple takedown.
मैं आ जाऊंगा भाई तेरे घर।
Good job. Resources here. Need equipment. Need equipment. Resources here. Head there. Thanks. Good job. Head there. Resources here. Resources here.
First doom.
Help me! Thanks. Head there.
Double takedown.
Medkit for everybody. Need equipment.
Yeah.
Need equipment. Thanks. Head there. Need equipment. Thanks. Resources here.
First doom.
A full stomach gives him headaches.
Itadori!
Free Fire India is set in a virtual world and is
I eat, I fight, I eat again.
double takedown.
The taste of victory. Yum.
Help me!
doom!
Help me!
Double takedown! Triple takedown!
We'll get him next time. Time for pizza! Need equipment!
First double takedown! Triple takedown!
Help me! Thanks. Medkit for everybody. Need equipment. Resources here. Thanks. Resources here. Thanks.
Doom! Double takedown! Triple takedown!
The taste. Quickie P conversion for everybody.
Resources here.
Resources here. Thanks. Head there.
takedown. Double takedown.
Full stomach gives him headaches.
Free Fire India is set in a virtual world and is not based.
I eat, I fight, I eat again.
Revenge tastes
Need equipment.
sweeter with superior firepower.
Head there.
Help me!
Triple takedown.
Thanks. Head there. Good job.
The taste of victory. Yum.
Need equipment.
Head there. First doom. Double takedown.
The taste of victory. Yum.
Good job. Need equipment. Help me!
First.
Help me!
Thanks. The taste of victory. Yum.
Resources here. Need equipment. Resources here. Thanks.
room. Double takedown.
A full stomach gives him headaches.